About a year ago, I went on a trip to go painting at the beach with my watercolor supplies, and I was lucky to find this beautiful boat stranded on the shore, the perfect subject for me to paint. So before we go ahead and look at the process, I want to show you my trip. However, even though I went on this whole little trip to go and paint, I never finished it. The day was so windy and sand got everywhere, and there's still a bit of sand left on this paper. I couldn't continue painting, and it was so cold, so I was left with this. And for a year, I have tried to gather the motivation to actually finish this, but I never got to it. So I thought today, let's do it a bit differently. Let's do it digitally. So, however sad it might be, I'm going to just ditch this whole painting I was trying to create, and I'm going to, with the same inspiration of a boat, do it digitally. And I hope it turns out great. So, time to follow along, I guess. So here's the iPad, and we're gonna work on Procreate for this. As you might know, I don't often work digitally. It's just that it's a thing of feeling the sensations when you draw and having more connection with the paper and your supplies. But that's kind of just an excuse for me not having studied enough on how to work digitally the way I want to. So I thought today I was going to explore that a bit. So this was the reference I used of the boat I saw, and I decided because I was working digitally, I might try and work in grayscale first. This is when you just work with the values, and later when you've kind of finished the painting, you go over kind of glazing it so that the values are correct and you can do the colors later on. So here I just kind of experimented with that, and the plan was to do this for the entire painting. Spoiler alert, I didn't do that. I actually realized that the reason I paint is for the colors, and I just get really bored essentially when all I got to work with is just monotone, just grays. here you see me messing around with the gradient maps already. That is just the things you can, like a layer you can put on top of your painting in Procreate. I didn't like it. I got bored pretty quickly, so I started over and I thought, okay, I'm going to view this as I would normally would, like when I'm sat down with my acrylics. And that is, I just start with like a neon pink background or like a very vibrant color. And then for the sketch, I use like a really thick brush and like do the big shapes. And finally I was having some fun with it. I was more confident, because before I was like, damn, this is so boring, I'm getting nowhere, my style isn't showing through. And at this point I was having a lot of fun. I was just putting down some colors and yeah, just enjoying working digitally. And as soon as I started with the water, this faded. This feeling faded. I got kind of frustrated. Yeah, the process in this video is not the prettiest one. You'll see. As I said in the beginning of the video, I just feel kind of disconnected. I don't get to feel like what is happening on the paper. Well, not really paper, the screen that I'm drawing on. And like the feeling of a marker, a fine liner, or like paint is all the same on an iPad. And that is something I just have to really get used to. And here you can see me make a big mistake. I started to zoom in. And one of the things you can't do traditionally is zoom in. And that's the reason why it can also like come together better. And what I did as a real beginner with digital art is I zoomed in when I started working on details of the boat. And it's gonna show on the end result of this painting. It just in the end it looks kind of out of place when you start working so up close and with detailed brushes, especially with like how digital drawing works. It's just like all the pixels, it just looks out of place. Like in the end, the background and the surrounding of the boat is really worked in like these big patches of color. And then when you look at the boat, it's all these kind of detailed lines and pixels. So that's kind of weird, actually. But yeah, the thing is, as you could see, I put my reference in black and white, and I didn't put it back even after I ditched my grayscale method, because I wanted to just have fun with it. And I was really enjoying this boat. I was having a lot of fun. I was just putting down greens and pinks and red wherever I wanted, and just having fun with it. So that is one thing that I did like about the process of this painting. And yeah, I was just drawing the cute boat. I know nothing about boats, so a lot about it is probably wrong. I don't know, I put some things on the top that I saw on the reference, and I was like, yeah, this perfect. It looks cute. I don't know what the little like green thing is. It's not supposed to be green in reference. I don't know what color it is. But I want to green in it. But I don't know, it looks cute. It looks like it has a little mouth, and like, I don't know, haven't decided yet if the little dots on the side are hands or the eyes. But I think it's cute. I think it's really cute. Here I'm working on the roof of the boat, and also here I was like making the panels, and like as the panels go further away they get a bit darker. But because in Procreate you can just pick literally all the colors you want, I did a bunch of gradients, and again it just looks really rendered relative to the rest of the painting, which is kind of weird. It's kind of like something I used to do in my portrait paintings when I was a bit younger, or sketches. I would make the eyes really detailed because the eyes was the fun part and the thing I was actually skilled in, and like the face had no shading at all and it just looks weird and out of place. So yeah, I was finished with the bow here and I thought it was really cute. And then the struggles came back again of the surroundings of the background. I started painting the sand here and I got really frustrated. I didn't look at any references of how I was supposed to paint sand. I just went for it, and while that is also a good idea, it's not always the best, as you can see here. Yeah. Like at this moment, I was just looking at the reference I had of that I took myself, and that reference was just really detailed because it's just a photo, and I don't know, I just completely forgot all the things I learned in my whole journey of drawing. Yeah, here I was really doubting myself, and I was like, what am I doing? So I ditched the whole background, and I just started again. I shaped the boat a bit because luckily I drew that on a different layer. That is one of the perks of drawing digitally. I wish I could do that with my other paintings, but I guess it's also good that I don't. That's kind of the problem I have with working digitally, is that you don't trust the process. And when you work like with, for example, markers, when you put down a color, you've put that color down. You can't escape from it now anymore. So you just have to commit to the bit, and then you have to trust the process. And eventually, hopefully, something actually good will come out of that. And most of the time that happens. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. But when you work on an iPad, it's so easy to just tap with 2 fingers and it's all gone. I did that multiple times. And I don't think it worked out for the best. Yeah, here I'm painting the waves. And like you can see it already, I was busy painting the sand and the waves, and that is when I actually looked up a reference of how other people were painting sand digitally. And I do think it looks cute. The problem is, like, the bow is really far away, and the image, like, the surroundings I'm drawing is just a really broad image. And the waves that I drew, especially in the front, were like as if the picture was zoomed in. And that was because the pictures I was looking at, like, style referencing, those were just pictures of sand and a shore up close, and that really affected my painting. And then I could finally do the clouds, and that made me happy because clouds are easy, and I like doing clouds, especially like the carving out I did. Like when you just paint a cloud and you go with the sky color and you carve them out, it looks so cute. Yeah, this last part was just doing some colors, and I was pretty done with it. But yeah, you know what? It's not the best I've ever made, but I'm proud of myself that I did try at least, because I must admit, I'm kind of scared of working digitally. I have these expectations of myself, and I set them pretty high, and I can never live up to them, and that's just kind of sad. But that's I would go into my own against my own advice if I said that I would just never do it again and never try, and just accept that I'm bad at it. I learned a lot of things from this painting, drawing session, and I do admit I didn't want to post this. I am not happy with the end result at all. But I am happy with the process because at one point I was actually enjoying myself, which is good. I don't usually do that when I'm drawing digitally. And it's kind of embarrassing because I'm kind of a hypocrite. I know all of these things that I talk about how you should accept your progress and look at it from a different angle, and you should just study and you'll get better, or look at it from a view of your younger self and how proud you would have been for drawing this, even though you're not proud of it now. But I do still feel these emotions of like a failure a bit, and that's okay. I got over it now. I still don't like what I made here, but I am happy with the fact that I did it. In the end, I did something I wanted to do for a year, and that was paint the boat. And I did it. Did it capture the energy, the vibe that I wanted to? No. But do I also give the advice that you should not trust the image in your head before you draw? Because that is not a concrete version of reality. Yes, so I should just accept I should study more on how to work with this medium, because that's all that it is. Another medium with a lot of tools, a lot of options, and I should just practice more and cut myself some slack. And it's okay. I could use pink in the image, and that's what makes me happy. So thank you for watching this process video. This was a bit more laid back, a bit more chatty, and also a not so perfect representation of maybe some other things that you've seen of me. So I hope you enjoyed, and until the next one.